Thousands of British servicemen were captured during World War II. They endured life in German prison camps, but a few managed to send vital military intelligence back home. The messages of one such prisoner are being revealed 70 years later. Mark Phillips is in London. Mark, good morning.
Good morning again, Charlie. Well, let me start with the health warning. If you like crosswords and mathematical puzzles and history, you'll love this. It's about a secret code hidden in wartime letters that it's taken 70 years to crack. If you don't like puzzles, ignore the math. It's still a good story. The evacuation of British and Allied troops from Dunkirk early in World War II was either a military disaster or a strategic withdrawal.
They're on their way home. Home from the hell that is Dunkirk.
Churchill called the rescue of more than 300,000 troops hemmed in by the Nazi advance a miracle.
Hitler knows that he will have to break us in this island.
But in this case, it is also the beginning of another story of ingenuity, heroism, and mystery. John Pryor was a naval officer aboard one of the ships which, under German bombardment, had already rescued one load of troops.
The men who were carried out of the jaws of death.
When it went back for a second load, the ship ran aground and Pryor was captured. He spent the rest of the war in a German POW camp from which he wrote dozens of letters back to his family in England. Stephen Pryor says his father's letters were always considered special, but that his grandfather, to whom they were addressed, didn't know how special. Did you always know that contained within these letters was some sort of secret code?
The family knew that these letters were in code because we had a distinctive mark on them, but we didn't know what the code was or how to crack it.
In code, because although the letters seemed to be about mundane aspects of camp life,
cigarettes, tobacco, chocolate.
Hidden in them were secrets, details of the German war effort, prisoner escape plans. But the code had died with Stephen's father, and even modern code breakers were stumped. You didn't know how historically significant
No, we didn't.
they were.
No.
Now you do.
Now we do.
Now they do, because Stephen Pryor had mentioned the letters to historians at the nearby university in Plymouth, who tried and failed to break the code.
Oh, we've already seen here is 3.
Before enlisting the help of mathematician David McMullan. He was impressed by what he found.
Bloody clever. Don't think it has a name other than that.
What he found was the long-forgotten key to the code.
So we got 133, so the word or the letter he's trying to encode here is P.
This is the part that can make your head hurt. He found a sequence of words at the beginning of sentences whose initial letters unlocked a grid containing yet more letters and, crucially, numbers that would reveal to military analysts back in Britain snippets of valuable intelligence. Innocent passages in the letters suddenly became requests for items such as local currency and fake travel documents.
And we can see, apart from a spelling mistake, John is requesting information about passports.
Or in another letter, news of a missing, actually sunk, British submarine, HMS Undine.
Many seeds are left being saved from several plants which did very well some time ago. Our last year's harvest was extremely good. So it's talking about the prisoners of war vegetable garden. Between many and good spells Undine, the name of the British submarine.
The letters also provided strategic intelligence, news of German troop buildups, and ammunition dumps the prisoners had heard about. They were not only useful and clever, historians like Harry Bennett say the letters were written at great risk.
If the Germans had been aware of what was going on, the individuals who were writing those letters could very easily have been in the hands of the Gestapo.
Had the Nazis discovered the code, and they did censor the letters, the POWs could have been shot as spies. The British War Office did, of course, know the code at the time and decoded the letters before they were sent on to the families, but the code was considered so sensitive, it's remained secret until now.
Extraordinary story. What intrigued you most?
How he knew how to do that, decode that, it's just brilliant.
And the mathematician who was able to detect the code, and the fact that the Germans allowed them to send letters, which was surprising to me.
Incredible. I mean, nobody has to decode the notes you and I wrote back to one another.
No, and it's clear.
They're blunt.
Blunt. Straightforward, candid. Mark Phillips, thank you. That does it for us. Up next, your local news. We'll see you tomorrow on CBS This Morning.